So, guys, is the audio all right? So yes, so it was the game week was all right. I kind of received 6 7 points. So my two teams that I thought would do good were Southampton and Spurs. They were massively disappointing. There was no point returns from any of the players. So my initial plan was to bring in Martial in the second game week. So now I think that's not going to happen. I think my plan will be different. So I'll go through my team and I'll give you my preview about the points that were received. So yeah, firstly, I was kind of expecting about 70 points, to be honest. But that Southampton and Spurs they underperformed. I mean, they were so disappointing. Thank God I did not triple up on Spurs players. And I was kind of sure I would not get points from McCarthy, but I was expecting some kind of return from Ings. Because looking at that Palace defense, and if you didn't know that Palace, none of the four players in the back line of Palace were the starting defenders. There was no Van Aanholt, there was no Sakho, there was no Cahill, there was no Ferguson, and all the players that started in that back line for Palace, I expected some goals from Ings or maybe anyone or Ward Prowess, but I think I don't know. I don't know if it was match fitness or something. So it was massively disappointing, and all my players have played. There's still Chelsea, Brighton, and Sheffield Wolves, but I don't have any players from that team. So this is my final point, and I think 67 is not that bad, but I still expected a lot from some of the players that did not deliver. So I was kind of sure I wouldn't give points from McCarthy. Now my plan for second game week was to bring in Martial for Vardy. But Vardy performed pretty well, and he looks like he's the only one who can make things happen in that team. Costanza was pretty good. He was involved around the box a lot. And I think, but still, I don't know if I want to pay that 5.5 for him. And I don't want to be making transfer for the defenders for now. As I said, I want to invest some money in forward and midfield if possible. But for now, let's see what will happen. But I don't think I'll transfer out Vardy for Martial for this weekend. Although I do want some Man United assets I want, in my opinion. I've changed my plans. But before that, let's talk about the points I got this week. And I'm going to do with the players I have right now. And let's start with the defense line. And as I said earlier, I was not expecting a lot from McCarthy, but he has a good run of fixtures. And he's set and forget for me, so I'll not talk about him. Now Trent. Trent was not good at all. And I don't know why Robertson was taking free kicks and corners. Robertson has been playing good since Community Shield, and he did not disappoint against Leeds. Trent and Van Dijk were so disappointing. Let's see how they will play against Chelsea, but they were pretty disappointing, to be honest. And the thing about is, as I said earlier, I think Van Dijk needs a new competition, in my opinion, because he's too comfortable in that defense line because he knows that no one can replace him, and he's like, he doesn't care anymore. He does not look as driven. And I think Trent will be back. I hope that PFA player, a young player, and all that did not get into his head. He's a brilliant player, and I hope he'll get his form back in coming game weeks. He's still Trent after all, so we'll have to see how that works out. And yeah, for now, Liverpool defense does not look that good. So There's Makwong from Malaysia. Hello, thank you for joining. Satyam Karki, love from Cape Town. Thank you. Ujjal Gimire. Okay, welcome Ujjal Gimire. Satyam, hello. Waiting for a program from Maldives. Okay, Naval Sitter Rider. All good. Bro, shout out. Okay, shout out to Naval Sitter Rider. And Innocent Munemo. Vardy's goal were both from the penalty spot. 13 points is a great start, but be aware those were his only 2 shots at goal, and he only had one touch of the ball in the opposition box the whole game. Yeah, the thing is, Leicester did not play that good, to be honest. They did not play well, but West Brom played worse than Leicester. That is what happened in that game, to be honest. I did watch that game. That new player, Pride, I think, I can't pronounce his name, but he was pretty good. He was pacey, he was doing things. And yeah, I think that player is good. Madison came on in second half. And I don't think I would want to change anyone in my team right now, because I'd want to see how the players perform, because I do have big hopes from the Southampton and Spurs players. And I think it is still a full game, so I can't judge any player on basis of one game. So I still don't want to get Vardy out of the team, because if you look at that Leicester team, I still do think the only player that can make things happen in that team right now looks like Vardy, because Costanza was pretty good, to be honest, and Justin, I think it was a lucky assist. That 9 points were like a blessing for me because of these Spurs and Southampton players. In the first day of this game week, I only had 21 points, and in the second game, my differentials were the players that gave me a lot of points. So Trent was being man-marked by 2 guys. Trent was being man-marked by 2 guys. Leeds had a plan for him as he was supply points. Salah, on the other hand, still, he was pretty terrible, and he almost scored an own goal. I'm a Liverpool fan, Innocent Munemo. I'm a Liverpool fan, so I won't praise for something that's not good. I don't think Trent was good at all, to be honest. He should have been a little more involved in the game, to be honest. It would have helped Liverpool a lot. Defensively, Van Dijk wasn't that good. I can't support things that I did not feel like it was good. And so, yeah, I will have to see how that works out, Liverpool. So, no hard feelings, Innocent Munemo, but I still have to see how Liverpool play in the upcoming game weeks. I was still not very convinced. And the thing you said about Vardy, I think that applies to Salah too. He was not particularly super good. 2 of the goals came from penalty. And that's the thing about going for Salah over Mane. He got penalty. He has penalty. So the second goal was pretty good for Salah, to be honest. That goal, the shot was, I don't think anyone could have stopped that. So yeah, I'm very pretty firm that I think I will keep Vardy. I won't change Vardy this game week. I'd want to see how the things will pan out. And so yeah, will Bruno play in game week 2? Or there he had gone, birth of a child. Oh, I didn't know this, Ujjal Gimire. I did not know about this. So I'll have to see about this. We'll have to see. We still do have time for transfers, so I did not know about this Ujjal Gimire. So if I know anything about it, I'll come back with it. Bruno is back at training. Oh, okay, Satyam Kargi. So yeah, I still don't have any information about it. So if there's anything about him, we'll definitely talk about it. So, Innocent Munemo, also Liverpool, myself, you are right. It's becoming very shaky. Yes, and that's particularly because of Van Dijk. He was like a rock last season, and now it looks like he does not have any kind of ambition. Like he's very comfortable there. He needs a competition, in my opinion. He needs some center back to like compete against him, because he knows that his place is there, and no one is going to replace him right now. So I think that is what is happening to Van Dijk, to be honest, because that error he made that led to goal was like, it was very childish. It did not look like he even cared. I mean, how could he do that? I mean, so yeah, let's not talk about Liverpool a lot. Now let's move into other players. So I was talking about Trent. So he was not particularly good, but I hope he finds his form in next few games. And now I bought Digne as a differential, and he was the one that worked out brilliantly, to be honest. And Calvert-Lewin, Digne, and Ward Prowse were three players I had as a differential. Luckily, two of them worked out perfectly. Now, looking at that Everton team, I feel like there are goals coming from Richarlison in upcoming game weeks, because you could see him like getting in good position. Although he was playing in the wings, I think there are goals coming in upcoming game weeks. And James was connecting very goodly with him. James was brilliant in that game, and I would love to see how that works out. So they face West Brom and Palace and Brighton, I think, and in next upcoming 3 games. So I see some points return in those games against West Brom. West Brom was not that good, because we'll have to see how Palace will play, because they parked the bus against Southampton. That's one of the reason. And Townsend and Zaha were pretty quick for the Southampton defense. Southampton midfield wasn't that convincing either, to be honest, looking at the match. So I hope there will be something. I don't know. We'll have to see. So West Brom were not very convincing compared to Fulham and Leeds. Leeds were pretty good, and Fulham was not that bad either, because Fulham were creating so many chances, but there was no one at the end of the post, to convert those chances. So I think they missed Mitrovic somewhat. So Fulham was not particularly that bad. Arsenal defense was not that good either. So I think amongst the team that got promoted, I think West Brom were the weakest one if you watch the whole match, in my opinion. So Ujjwal Gimini, I already own Martial, so should I go for Bruno or De Bruyne? I think you already have Martial. Go for De Bruyne. Go for Bruno, not De Bruyne. Why? Because I think now after Aguero comes back, I think he will. I don't know how, if he's going to start or if he is fit. In my opinion, what made De Bruyne a good choice was his penalty duties. So after Aguero comes in, I don't know who's going to take the penalty, but before De Bruyne, it was Aguero who took penalties. So if De Bruyne does not have that penalty duty with him, I think Sterling is way better choice for that 11.5 million than De Bruyne, in my opinion, personally. This is only my view. So I still see Sterling as one of those savior players in that Man City team. De Bruyne is not that bad of an idea, but if you have Martial, and looking at the fixtures of Manchester United, comparing with Man City, I think Bruno is cheaper. He will definitely take penalty, in my opinion. And he has easier fixtures. I think if they face Crystal Palace. Now, I don't know if Crystal Palace will park the bus again, because they did against Southampton, which made very difficult for Southampton to score. And Goita was, I don't know, he was like a Superman. He was saving everything. It's not that Che Adams and Ings were not shooting. It's just Goita was saving everything in that game. So, yeah. If you already have Martial, I think looking at the fixtures, why not go for Bruno? Takes penalties. He's only 10.5. 1 million, you'll save 1 million, and he will be facing Crystal Palace. So yeah, I would personally go for Bruno. So if you have any kind of other, it's still your team, Ujjwal. So yeah, in my opinion, I would personally go for Bruno, because I think I will stay away from De Bruyne if he does not take penalty. I'll rather go for Aguero, although Aguero won't play all the 90 minutes, I'm pretty sure. But we do know how lethal Aguero is. In that 60 minutes, he can score as much as he wants. And if he gets a penalty, I'm pretty sure there are hat-tricks and 5 goals coming in. So yeah, if there are no penalty duties for De Bruyne, I would rather go for Sterling or Aguero. So in my opinion, I would go for Bruno. Now yeah, let's talk about my team again. So yeah, in the defense line, I was talking about Digne. Now let's talk about Justin first. So I won't talk much about him, because Leicester were not super good, although they scored 3. But West Brom were even bad than Leicester. And for that 4.5 million, I mean, he returned 9 points. So yeah, just praise. I just have praise for him. Although he's not a permanent choice, I think he did pretty well for that price range. We can't expect a lot from that price range, but he still returned a lot of points for that price range. So yeah, Justin was pretty good. So he'll definitely stay in my team for next game week. I think Leicester face Burnley. So Burnley, we do know how Pope had a brilliant season last time. So yeah, we'll have to see how that works out. Now, moving into the midfield. Uh, Firstly, let's talk about Son and Doherty, the Spurs players. Now, Doherty, it was kind of Doherty was involved a lot around in the box in the first half, but then he kind of I don't know what got into him, but he seemed kind of tired in the second half. He was not as involved. Son was playing very good actually. The teammates weren't helping, to be honest, and I think Son is still a good pick in my opinion because he was doing every bit he could in that team. He looked sharp. He did not look laggy or like he did not have any kind of mass fitness or something. He was pretty good, to be honest. And Ali was nowhere to be seen. I was surprised by Alderweireld's pace, how slow he was. I mean, I did not know that he ran like a turtle. I mean, what kind of pace was that? Richarlison, I don't know how did he miss that. Richarlison missed a lot. I mean, James was brilliant. I see a lot of assists coming in from him if he keeps on performing the way he is doing right now. So, yeah, I think Richarlison is one of the choice. If you don't have any Everton player, I would strongly suggest Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin. Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin, and Digne. I think you need to have at least one of them for their price and the fixtures and the performance against Spurs. In my opinion, they were pretty good, to be honest. And yeah, you go for Everton players if you don't have any of them. And there have been questions about Willian. So my concern with Willian is that he might be rotated with Pepe. I'm not like saying it will happen, but my only problem with having Willian is it can happen. He will, in my opinion, he will be rotated with Pepe. So yeah, let's move on. So that's one of the reasons I had Ward Prowse in my team was because of how nailed on he was in that Spurs team and because of his set pieces. So the midfield of Southampton was pretty slow, to be honest. The ball controls, the pace, the run backs, and the covering, everything, the coverage, everything, they were very slow in my opinion. I think they kind of missed Højbjerg in that position. I don't know, because the midfield was one of the problems in that Southampton team, and they were pretty slow, and they were pulling pretty high line, and there was no control in midfield. The main problem was there was no control in midfield because there was no person like Allen was pretty good for Everton. The ball control of Allen was pretty good in my opinion, looking at that match. So yeah, let's see how that pans out. And yeah, the Allen and James were so good with the ball, and they were controlling the pace of that game against Spurs. So I think one of that kind of player is needed in Southampton. But I still do think they will get better with time. So we'll have to see how that works out. So yeah, now moving into the attack line, I don't think I need to talk about Aubameyang, because the only problem I had with Aubameyang was he kind of was too wide for me. Because I mean, he was very. I thought he will be more of a central in the game. I was not happy how wide he was in the team. So I hope there will be some. I don't know. Aubameyang still is a good choice. Arsenal face West Ham in next game, and West Ham were not good against Newcastle. So yeah, I hope Aubameyang will kind of play in the central role, and Monemo. So it turns out Willian, his assists in game week 1 are a third of all his assists last year at Chelsea. I did not know that, innocent Monemo. So yeah, since I think I don't remember who took Arsenal set pieces. It was Ozil. So Ozil stopped playing, and I think it was Pepe who took the free kicks. He's kind of scored all, and now he gets injured or he does not get playing time. So set piece duty will all come down to Willian, I think. So once the question that I got last time was about set piece in the Chelsea team. I think that was from Ujjwal, and he was asking who was going to take. So in the pre-seasons, it was Ziyech who was taking the free kicks and corners. So since Ziyech is injured now, I'm not pretty sure who's going to take that. It might be Mount. According to him, it was Mount. Maybe it will be Mount. we still have that game left to see. So yeah, we'll have to see how that works out. And I have Aubameyang as well as Salah, but he's wide. Yeah, of course, that was the main problem with Aubameyang with me too, because I think he could have got a lot more, except for that goal, because he was playing too wide for my like, to be honest. And I was not expecting Lacazette to start, and I feel after that match interview, it looks like Lacazette will be starting other games too. Maybe there will be rotation with Nketiah or something. I don't know. And if I don't know, Aubameyang was too wide for me. Now that might change. That might be rotated according to the matches, the level of intensity of match. Maybe that will change when they play against Man City or Liverpool. We don't know about that. But yeah, he was playing too wide for me, Aubameyang. But he's still a good pick. That was a brilliant goal. That was a brilliant team goal, to be honest. The build up was pretty good. So next week, yeah, he's still my captain in my opinion. Looking at that West Ham, so I also captain Oba this week. Now regretting, I was panicking after his 0 points at halftime. Yeah, we all were panicking, to be honest. There was so much hope from Aubameyang, and Mitro was also benched, so that was a big shock for everyone. So I did not personally own Mitro, but I could see the status and feed. Everyone was panicking about how Mitro was on the bench, but I did not even knew that he had some kind of hamstring injury until the match started. So yeah, I think Fulham massively missed Mitrovic in the first half, because there were so many crosses coming in from the Fulham wingers, and there was no one to score. I mean, there was no one to convert that, and that kind of made them lose the game, in my opinion. They could have scored at least 1 or 2 against Arsenal. Arsenal defense was not that good, to be honest. If you look the match, if the opponents were more clinical, there would have been goals. So yeah, let's see how it will happen in next game. They play West Ham, so I'm expecting some points from Arsenal players. So yeah, now what I was talking about, Calvert-Lewin. Yeah. So yeah, Calvert-Lewin is a bargain for his price, I think, for 7 million. If you want to get an Everton player, go for Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, Digne. I think Digne is a good value for what you are paying, because he was taking all the set pieces too. I did not know that, but he was taking free kicks. That goal Calvert-Lewin scored, it was in Digne's assist, and he was taking corners, and there is a clean sheet point. So yeah, there's a lot of returning point for that 6 million price. So I think he's got pretty good fixtures to Everton. So Digne might be one of the choice you might want to go for. So yeah, basically Digne and Calvert-Lewin in my team will be like set and forget for upcoming 3 to 4 games. That is the reason I chose Digne, to be honest. So I hope the Everton team performs like they did against Spurs. So do you know why Mitrovic was benched? He's not fully fit yet. Yes, he was benched because of the hamstring injury. That's what the commentator said before the game. He has some slight hamstring problem. I don't think that is serious, and I do think he will play in the next game week. So yeah, hamstring injury was the problem. Sound problem, not audible. So is there any kind of audio problem? Sound problem, not audible. Is it for everyone, or is it just for Never Settle Rider? Is my audio all right? Can you hear my voice? Is there any kind of lag or repetition or echo? Okay, no problem. Okay. And so, what was I talking about? Yeah, Mitrovic. Yeah. So it was, according to the commentator, it's hamstring injury. So I'm pretty sure he will be playing. And so yeah, let's move on now. Yeah, as I said, if you want, there's a lot of value, I think, in Everton team, in midfield, in defense, in attack. So looking at those fixtures, you might want to get one of them. So yeah. I can clear, though it's a very slight hiss, but it's not too bad for me. Okay, thank you, Innocent. I will continue. So now let's talk about Ings. So Ings was not super good, but he was not even that bad, to be honest. It was Goita who had a very good game, in my opinion. So I think I want to see how Ings perform against Spurs, because now the thing about my team is the only players I want to take off from now, looking at the first game only, is from the Spurs and Southampton. But I don't know who will perform, who had bad game, because it's not that Ings did not have shots. He had shots, but Goita was pretty good. And I think looking at that match, instead of Ings, Che Adams was pretty good. He was shooting, he was creating chances. His body language was even better with the ball, and without the ball, he looks faster. So I do think Che Adams is not that bad of a choice. And if Ings does not take penalty, it's Ward-Prowse who takes penalty. So yeah, in my team, I only have Ward-Prowse because of those set piece duty, as I said earlier. Yeah, he might be the one who will be taking the penalty. He definitely takes the corners. I don't remember about the free kicks, but he does take the corners. So yeah, in my opinion, Ings, I won't be changing my team for the second game week. I think I'll keep the transfer, and I'll transfer 2 players out in the after second game week. That's what I'm thinking right now. Personally, my plan initially was to take off Vardy for Martial, but after I saw that Crystal Palace defense, I mean they parked the bus and Southampton couldn't score. So yeah, I think I won't bring in Martial for now, because their fixtures is not very good. It's good. It's not best though. So I might want to get hands on. If I bring in Martial now, my plan is to bring in Jimenez too in after second game week, because after second game week, if you look at the Spurs fixtures, it's so good. I mean, like I could just select Jimenez and leave it there. So that was my plan, to bring in Jimenez and Martial, removing Ings and Vardy. So after that game, I don't think I want to remove Vardy for now. I still believe if anything is coming from that Leicester team, it will be Vardy. So I don't want to take off Vardy for now. I will keep him. He will face Burnley. We do know Burnley is very good defensive side, but still, I'd want to wait. I'll save that transfer, I think. And what never said, Austin would be a better option than Robinson. I'm not looking at any West Brom players right now. So the thing about I was not pretty convinced about their performance against Leicester, because as I said, Leicester were not that good, but West Brom were even bad. So I'm not looking at any players from there, because I don't think I'd want anyone in my team from there. Because why not go for maybe Wilson? He did play good, and I think one more fixture is very good for him for that 6.5 million price. I mean, I think there's a lot of other value than Austin and Robinson. I might want to wait. I mean, if you want to punt, I mean, there's no problem with it. You can. So in my personal opinion, I think I would wait on West Brom players. I'd want to see a little more, because they were not convincing against Leicester. So yeah, he was not. That's exactly what I said earlier in my stream. Vardy was not that good, and it's the same for Salah too. He was not super good, but except for that 2 penalty. But that second goal was, I mean, nobody could stop that goal. That was pretty good volley, and so yeah, that is the thing about having players like Salah and Vardy and Fernandes. They always have penalty in their pockets. So yeah, I agree with you, Neville Setter Rider, that the Vardy was not that good, but still. He has penalty, and he's the talisman of that team. I do believe if anything will come from that team, it will be him. I think now Maddison will play next game too. He came on in second half, so Maddison does have that set piece threats. And I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing the name wrong. Pride, I think he was pretty good too, pacey and all that stuff. So yeah, we'll have to see. It's just one game, and we'll have to see. I mean, there's not much to analyze from one game. It's just 90 minutes. So that is one of the reasons I don't think I will be making any kind of transfer for this game week. I'd want to wait and transfer 2 players out in the after second game week. That's my plan right now. So let's see what happens. So I think Palace will play Man United in Old Trafford, and there might be goals, because after all, Man United are way better than Southampton, in my opinions, according to the players they have and the new signings they've made. So, yeah, in my opinion, there might be goals from the Man United players, because Martial had a pretty good form last season, and there's been now Van de Beek and new signings and all that stuff. So yeah, we'll have to see how Crystal Palace and Man United will play. But still, I think I won't be making any kind of transfers. So maybe due to playmaker Madison in the starting lineup would help Vardy to score more. What do you think about that? Yes, I think the fixtures after Man City. I think now next match is against Burnley. Now we do know that Burnley has that reputation of that defensive prowess that they have because of that last season. So Burnley can be kind of fine match, and they face Man City after Burnley. So Man City is always tough. So I would not pick them. And after that, they face I think Aston Villa and West Ham. I'm not pretty sure, but that's pretty two of the weak teams. I looked at the fixture difficulty rating, and two weak teams. They face two weak teams. So I kind of see good return points after Man City game for Vardy. That is one of the reasons I think I'd want to keep Vardy for now. So I can only make one transfer. I can't get all the players. Although I want, I can't. And I don't want to take hit. I don't have to. I feel like you can't make a good team in a single day. You'll have to wait. That's not how it works out. Although Salah scored 3 against Leeds, let's see what happens against Chelsea. Let's see what happens against Arsenal. That's not going to happen all the time. So we'll have to wait. We should not panic in this kind of situation. So yeah. That's a decent first week. Yes, yeah. It's the Everton players that saved my week. And I'm so thankful to one of the commentators in my video. He was a real Everton fan. Because in one of my video, I asked in the video that if there was anything I needed to know about Everton, please comment down. And he had no name. His name was full stop. And he commented that that there is no defensive problem in Everton. The problem was midfield. And if they signed Doucouré and Allen, they would be a pretty good team. And they did. And Everton signed Doucouré, Allen, and James Rodriguez. And they were a pretty different team. If you watch the full match, if you remember that moment when Doucouré tackled Lucas Moura in that counter-attack, my God, that was so good tackle. He got the ball. He did not touch the player. That was very good defending. I mean, I was pretty impressed by that. And I was pretty impressed by Allen's ball control and the way he handled the ball. So yeah, James was a different kind of quality. We all know about James. But I was pretty impressed with Allen's ball control and Doucouré's defensive prowess. So yeah. It looks like Everton have been strengthening quietly. I see the 3 assets you have gave you a good point. I took Coleman and the next few. Yes, Coleman is, I think, widely underrated in my opinion. No one is looking for. Is he 5 million or 6 million? I think it's 5 million. I don't remember his voice, but there was one time before Coleman got injured. He was one of the fastest players in that Premier League. I still remember Walker and Coleman. They were pretty competitive, and I think Coleman was one of the fastest players. I still do remember I had Coleman all the time in my team, in that Everton team, when there was Leighton Baines in the left and there was Coleman in the right. Before the injury, he was pretty good, but after injury, he's not that good. So, in a Saint Monemo, I do think Coleman is one of the most underrated player. If this Everton team starts winning games, I think he will be starting all the minutes, and that 5 million, I think, is a bargain. So yeah, we'll have to look out for that. And how many points do you have, Kalifundin? I have 67, and all the players are maxed out. No, there's no player. I don't have any Chelsea player because I still want to see who will play where. Because now Pulisic is returning, Ziyech is returning. One of the players I want to get in my team is Ziyech because of those set piece duty. As I said, he was taking all the set pieces in the preseason. So for 8 million, he takes all the set pieces. He kind of might be like Willian, you know. So yeah, I want Chelsea coverage. So, but I still want to wait. I'm in no hurry because after they face Brighton is still good defensively. So after they face Brighton, they face Liverpool. So although Liverpool are not super good with their defense, they're still a tough team to play against. So maybe after that, I'll have to see. I still am seeing James, the defender, Reece James. If he starts, I think he's a good value for money too. So yeah, Kalifodini, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing wrong. It's 67 points this week. Everton players saved me, to be honest. Ake versus Maguire. Which one would you pick? Of course, Maguire, because not as I said, there's good fixtures for Man United, and are you even sure that Ake will start? Although, yeah, he's a left-legged, and I do think it will be Laporte and Ake. It might be. We're not sure. Now, I still wouldn't rush in two players like Ake or Thiago Silva because we don't know if they will start. 'Cause there are so many defenders in that Man City and Chelsea team. There are six centre backs in Chelsea, and maybe I don't know, six centre backs in that Man City team too. There's Garcia, Fernandinho also plays there. Otamendi, Ake. Laporte. Five. I've already counted five of them. So there might be others too. So yeah, I won't go for Ake for now. Maguire, he will definitely start, and he has two good fixtures. I think they face Crystal Palace, and after that I don't remember. But I think there's more chance of Maguire keeping clean sheet against Crystal Palace than Ake keeping clean sheet against Wolves in the second game week. So I think I'd go for Maguire. Logically, I'd go for Maguire. Tonight is Timo time. I don't have Timo personally, so he might score hat-trick since I don't have him. I didn't have Salah, so he scored hat-trick. So yeah, SCS 2018. I hope he does score hat-trick. What Chelsea assets are you keeping an eye on for this season? As I said, the two players that I'm looking towards is, except for I think Pulisic is a obvious pick. Except for them, according to the preseason that I saw, looking at their value, I think Ziyech and Reece James are two of the players I'm looking at right now. Because I don't think there is anyone playing in that right wing, since there is no Pedro, there is no Willian, and there is no set piece taker. It will be Ziyech, in my opinion. According to preseasons, the one who is taking set pieces will be Ziyech, and I don't think there is anyone playing in that right wing. Maybe Havertz can play or Mount can play. I'm not sure, but that right wing looks like it is for Ziyech. So yeah, Ziyech will play in that position. Ziyech is one of the players I'm looking at, and another player is Reece James. If he does not get rotated with Aspi for 5 million and that Chelsea team, and coming after that Liverpool fixtures, I think they have pretty good run of fixtures. So yeah, Reece James and Ziyech are two of the players I'm looking from Chelsea, SCS 2018. Okay. Now, yes, so I think this is pretty much about it. And now my thing about the substitution players is Mitchell got 6 points. I did not expect that at all. Mitchell getting a clean sheet. I was not expecting a clean sheet from Crystal Palace. I was pretty convinced that looking at Southampton's preseason, there would be at least one goal from maybe Ings, or maybe there might be some kind of assist from Ward-Prowse. I was so disappointed with the Southampton players and Spurs players. I don't know. So this is how my bench looks. I don't have to worry about Nyland. And I think Martinez is signed now for Aston Villa. So, but I'm still, as long as McCarthy plays, I don't think I need to worry about my second keeper, because McCarthy is kind of set and forget for me. I don't expect a lot from them after the first game week. So yeah, I was not expecting 6 points from Mitchell. That was a huge disappointment. Trent was a huge disappointment, to be honest. I'm not even going to talk about it. So Alzate is still to play. So the bench does not matter. And the Reed is like kind of a placeholder for that 4.5 million. So I can change him to maybe some other player. I still have 2 million in my bank. Just so you know, I still have 2 million. So I can change Ward-Prowse to Willian, or maybe on any other 8 million like Ziyech or anyone if I want. So, but still, I'm pretty convinced I'm not going to change my team. If I do, I will let you know. But looking at, I can judge all my players just because of that 1 week performance. There might have been lack of match fitness. There's a lot to be considered. So I don't think I'll make any kind of change in the first game week. And what Chelsea assets? How is your bench looking? I had Salah. Captain was very happy that the decision came off. Oh God, congratulations. I think captain, so I think you have 40 points from Salah. That's more than half for my whole team. So that was pretty ballsy, I think, against Leeds. So yeah, that was a good shout. And I was personally not expecting hat-trick from Salah, although I did write in one of the comments. I think I'll let you know that about that in my next video. So yeah, if I had Salah, if I bought Salah, I would not have money for Digne and Vardy. I calculated, I would not have money for Digne and Vardy, and Digne looks like a pretty good investment. So I'm not that disappointed, and I don't think Salah will get two penalties every game. So upcoming two games are pretty difficult. Chelsea are attacking side too, so we'll have to see. But Arsenal kind of plays defensive when it comes to Liverpool. They are all defensive and counter attack against Liverpool. So we'll have to see how that works out. And I prefer Rashford rather than Martial. Hope to get Rashi form back. He was in Sapa. Yeah. Now before the first game week, my comparison was Rashford or Son. So looking at the Spurs fixtures, and Son is not that bad of a player. He's kind of a talisman. He's not Kane, but he does make things happen when there is no Kane. And I think for that 9 million price, he's the one who controls the team in that Spurs. So my comparison was, should I go for 9 million Son or 9.5 million Rashford? So I mean, it was no brainer. I would definitely go for Son. He has so good fixtures. Yeah, I'm sure. The Spurs team did not play good in the first game week, but still, it does not end in the first game week. FPL does not end in first game week. There's still so much more to go. There's still so much more game week, and I think Son was very sharp. If you watch the match, Son was one of the sharpest player. Lucas Moura was good, but still, yeah, Son. I still believe there will be return points from Son. I'm not very convinced about Doherty. He was substituted, and I don't know if he will start in next game. Mourinho is pretty temperamental person, so yeah, I won't be surprised if Doherty does not start in next game week. It was not that good, just being honest. And everyone's disappointed with Southampton. Yes, I had three players. I mean, and I was going for another three from Spurs. Thank God I didn't. I was going with Doherty, Son, and Keane. But after the way I saw Kane playing for the England team, I was not convinced. So I removed Kane and I brought in Digne and Calvert-Lewin, and that worked out. So yeah, thanks to Everton players. Jose's first ever loss in game week 1. Is that so? Sotim Kargi, I didn't know that. Okay. What do you think on replacing Aubameyang with De Bruyne at the cost of... No. Why would you do that? Aubameyang face West Ham United next game week, and no, I wouldn't do that. As I said, De Bruyne is not sure about. I mean, after Aguero returns, I don't think De Bruyne will be the one who takes penalties. I'm pretty sure it will be Aguero, and as I said, I know Aguero won't play full 90 minutes. Although he'll only play 60 or 70 minutes, I'm pretty sure he can do a lot of damage than any other player in that league. We do know the potential of Aguero, and that for 10.5 million price, I'd love to give him if he starts every game. So Ganza Singh, please don't substitute. I mean, don't take hit. I mean, no, that's a very bad idea. In my opinion, personally, don't do Aubameyang for De Bruyne. And I think Man City face Wolves in the first game. I still do think Wolves will be strong because they still got Patricio, they still got size, they still got Cody in that defense line. And me personally, I wouldn't replace Aubameyang with De Bruyne because they face West Ham, and my captain might be Aubameyang in next game week. So I personally wouldn't recommend you to get Aubameyang off. I'm staying away from Spurs for now. To me, it looks like Mourinho is slipping into self-destruct mode again, substituting Ali at halftime. Yeah, but Ali was nowhere to be seen, to be honest. The only player I was looking at that team was Son from Spurs. Son was good. If you look at that match, Son was creating everything in that team. There was no one to convert that. Now, Kane almost scored one of the goals, but he couldn't. Alderweireld, I was so disappointed with that Alderweireld pace. I did not know that he was so slow. I mean, Richardson was... I don't know if Richardson was super fast or Alderweireld was super slow, but looking at that replay and all that stuff, he was so slow. And Spurs. As I said, you can't judge the team in just because of the first game week because there's still more to go. And Spurs don't have particularly bad fixtures in upcoming game weeks. So yeah, I like to wait on Spurs players. I would not take them off. I'll still give a chance. I still give one more. So the best thing about the second game week is Spurs play against Southampton. That gives me an idea who I should take players off from. It will be in the second game after the second game week. It will be Spurs players that will leave, or it will be Southampton players. I'm not sure. So I'm pretty confused who to get off. It's still just one game week, and Ings was good. He was not that bad. He was trying to score, but Guaita was even better. So they could not score. Son was pretty good. He was very sharp, but the teammates did not help out. And Ward-Prowse, he's taking penalty. He might be taking penalty. He's taking corners. He's taking free kicks. So for that 6 million, if Southampton find their form, I think he's still a bargain for 6 million. And about Doherty, I was not impressed. Straightly, I was not happy with Doherty's performance. So yeah, that's what I think about Spurs players for now. Legends say FPL is a marathon, not 100-meter sprint. Yes, of course. It's just one game week. We still have so many to go. Yeah, so thanks. I'm convinced to keep Oba. Yes, please. Personally, I think that's a bad idea, but still, it's your team. You can do whatever you want with it. I'm just here to suggest. So, in my opinion, personally, I think Oba will do pretty good. I think he should do better than De Bruyne, looking at the fixtures and the opponent. So yeah, that's my opinion. So now, talking about my transfers, as I said before the game week, my plan was to take off Vardy for Martial. Now, looking at the way Crystal Palace defended against Southampton, like they just parked the bus and they countered, and Zaha and Townsend were too fast for the Southampton defenders. So I think I won't be making any kind of change. My plan is to bring in Wolves player after second game week. Let's see the Wolves players. Jimenez. So this is what Wolves fixtures look like. They face Sheffield. They still have not faced Sheffield. They will be playing today, and so they face Sheffield and they face Man City. Then after that, they face West Ham. They face newly promoted Fulham. They face Leeds and they face Newcastle and Crystal Palace. So I think that's a pretty good run. I think there is a lot of clean sheets and goals in my opinion. If Wolves are still the same team that they were last season, now there has been some changes in the defense line for Wolves. I don't know how much that will impact. They don't have both the fullbacks they used to have in their team. We'll have to see against Sheffield how they perform. Then we'll have to see how they will perform against Man City. That's always tough. So maybe after that, I might bring in two Wolves players. That's my plan for now. That might easily change. We'll have to see how that works out But now my plan is I won't bring in any player for now. I'll just leave it as is, and I'll decide if it's the Spurs players or Southampton players that needs to leave from my team. So yeah, I just don't have enough statistics to analyze because it's just 90 minutes and things can change pretty quick in FPL. So yeah, I'll wait. I'll have to see how things will work out. And I think this is pretty much it. Talking about Burnley, Rodriguez or Barnes. Maybe Barnes. I don't. Why not? I don't know. I have not looked for the Burnley players. Maybe let me look for it. Burnley. Taylor looks like a very popular and mainstream choice because everyone is convinced that Pope will perform the way they did last season, and I don't know. Barnes. So as I look through here, Barnes looks injured for Burnley. So yeah, Barnes is injured. Never settled rider, according to what I see here. Groin injury, unknown return date. So it looks like Rodriguez, I guess. But you're looking for a differential pick. that might work out pretty good. We're not sure. So yeah. Uh, when are you thinking of using the wild card? When I have to. There's no certain plan for my wild card. The moment I feel like my team's not gonna do good, I mean, I wouldn't use wild card just because one or two players are not delivering. The time to use wild card, in my opinion, is when if the time is running out to use the wild card. Like if tomorrow is the deadline to use the first wild card, I will use it tonight. Although I don't need it, I will. That's one of the reason I use wildcard. And another reason is if all the players are underperforming or there are no good fixtures for all the players, and I need to like overhaul all the team. You know, I mean, if I need to change all the players, then only I use wildcard personally. And as experiment, I use this wildcard in the second game week last season because I have never in my all this FPL experience I have never used wildcard this early in first or second game week, and I did in the second game week, and I was so disappointed because after that a lot of players got injured and all that stuff happened. So I wanted to change all my squad and I couldn't because I did not have. So for that reason, I had to take a lot of hits. I did that for all the experimental reasons. So I personally am not a big fan of bringing in. Using wildcard early because I think I don't want to use right now because there's not enough data, as I said. There's still so much to go, and we don't even know who is nailed on to use wildcard. We're not sure. Are you sure that Willian will play next game? It might be Pepe who will start the game. I'm not sure. Is Pulisic 100% fit? Is Zayek fit? We don't know that. We still have to see. So I'd wait for wildcard personally. SCS 2018. So yeah, my idea of using wildcard is when I need to use it, not because someone else does. Yeah, that is my personal opinion. So Wilson, any thoughts on him? Yes, he's a good player with that tapping and all that stuff. That is one of the reasons Newcastle brought in. So according to Newcastle fan, the main thing is they can create, but there's no one to convert it. And I think Wilson is one of the players that they needed. And we do know, as I've said this multiple times in my stream, how good Wilson is. It was a good season for that Bournemouth trio. There was Wilson, Fraser, and King. They were unstoppable. So yeah, Wilson has definitely made a team better. I think their next game week is good. One game I don't remember against home. So my front line is, for now I'm considering Jimenez after game week 3. So I've not looked through a lot of forward options for now. It was Martial before the first game week, but I'm pretty convinced I won't make any kind of transfer. So yeah, Wilson, if you want to go for him, I think you should before everyone gets on Wilson, because I think his price will increase if he performs the same way in the second game week too. And for that 6.5 million, it looks pretty good. And another player from that Newcastle side was Lewis. He was pretty good, Jamal Lewis, in my opinion. So yeah, he's one of the players you might want to look at. What do you think about Barnes? Barnes. I think he's all right. He's not that bad of an option. But as I've said earlier, Leicester were not that good. But West Brom played even bad than Leicester. That's what gave Leicester a win. Because as I said, the talismanic person that Vardy is, he looks like the one person you might want to consider. And Justin was not there. And yeah, Costanza, of course, he was involved in that box area so much, in that D box area, and he was getting in the he will get the clean sheet points and he will get the attacking points. And I think Costanza is one of the players I'm looking in that team, and I'm pretty sure he won't lose his place because he can play in the right, he can play in the left, and even after Pereira returns, in my opinion, he will be in the left. So in the interview, Vardy said, Vardy? I think it was Vardy. He said that Costanza is not comfortable playing in the right back position. So if he can score and keep a clean sheet playing in the wrong position, and I think he can return a decent point when he starts playing in the left back position. So yeah, Costanza is one of the players I'm looking at for that 5.5. Going into the season, I think he will be one of the hits if he still plays the way he did in the first game week. So personally, Barnes, I personally won't bring Barnes, but I don't think that's bad idea because after, as I said, They face now Burnley in the second game week. Leicester will face Burnley in the second game week. In third, they face Man City. And after that, there are two easy fixtures. I think potential goal returns. I think they face Aston Villa and West Ham United. I'm not sure. You might want to look that. But there's pretty good two fixtures after Man City for Leicester City. So, Pratyuk, yeah, in my opinion, Barnes is not that bad of an idea. But personally, I have some different plans. So, yeah, I'm not personally going for Barnes. What are your predictions for the two games tonight? So, yeah, I think it's Wolves versus Sheffield is a draw game. I don't know, is it a 0-0 or is it a 1-1? That game looks like a draw. I don't know. That just looks like a draw. Because last time out, I remember Sheffield and Wolves were 1-1. They're both very good defensive sides. And it's like there won't be too much goals, in my opinion. I might be wrong. I can't see future. But in my opinion, there won't be too much goals. It might be one or two. But in my opinion, it will be a draw. And about Chelsea and Brighton, so in the preseason, it was a draw, 1-1. And I'd want to see how Lampard will deploy his player. That is one of the reasons I don't have any Chelsea players, because I don't know how Chelsea will perform. It's not enough just because you have good players. There's no guarantee that all the players will play good on the pitch. It's just not enough to have good players, player list. That's not how football works. So yeah, if there is a win for Chelsea, there might be a slight, 1-0, 2-0 win, or that looks like a draw for me too. I personally don't have any Chelsea players, so I couldn't care less for now. So since I don't have Warner, he might strike a hat-trick like Salah did. So I hope he does for all of you. But I don't have any player from today's game week. My players are maxed out. So yeah, I think maybe the Wolves versus Sheffield will be a draw, and maybe Chelsea versus Brighton will be. Chelsea might win by slight margin, in my opinion. I'm not sure. And what do you think about Harvey Barnes? Pratyuk Khanna, I just talked about Harvey Barnes. I think you missed that. So I think I think I personally wouldn't go for Barnes, because I have some different plans. My plans is to bring in Wolves player after third game week. And so since Leicester have pretty good fixtures after Man City, they face Aston Villa and West Ham United, I think. Leicester City. Yeah, West Ham United and Aston. And both the games are home matches. I did not know that. So yeah, go for it. Barnes is not that bad of a choice. It's not end of the world. So yeah, Barnes is not that bad of an option, Pratyuk. He might be a good differential pick. So yeah, go for it if you want to. But personally, I have some different plans, so I'm not considering Barnes. I'm doubting Justin will play long on the left side. He was struggling to cross and kept pushing the ball to his right leg. Yes, both the fullbacks played in the wrong position, according to Vardy's interview. Costanza feels comfortable in left, and Justin is a right back, but they switched position. So, and Innocent Monemo, we already know Justin is not a permanent player in that team. So, in my opinion, Justin is just still a punt, because after after the Pereira returns, I'm pretty sure right back will be Pereira's and left back will be Costanza's. So, but for that 4.5 million, he returned 9 points this first game week. So I think we need to be grateful for that. He kind of saved my first game week, along with Digne and Calvert-Lewin. So yeah, you can't expect a lot from the 4.5 million player. So what he returned in the first game week, I think that's pretty good. If it wasn't obvious already, I'm a Chelsea fan. Yeah, okay. SCS 2018. I hope Chelsea win tonight. I still have to see how they perform. I hope they do good. I don't know. As I said, it's not enough to have a good team on paper. You need to perform together. So yeah, that's my thought on Chelsea players. So I'll wait. I have no rush to bring in Chelsea players, because they face Brighton and they face again Liverpool. So it's still a difficult game for Chelsea. So I want to wait. I want to see how they would perform, because I think playing against Liverpool is a test. Although Liverpool aren't doing good defensively, so I'll have to see how Chelsea performs. So yeah, I hope Chelsea does good. It's good for all the FPL managers. So yeah, Adam Plusa. Is this your team? Yes, this is my team. And I think if you want to see the points, this is my point for the first game week. And all my players have played. And I'm super disappointed with Spurs and Southampton players. They underperform very badly. Now I'm in dilemma. I don't know if I need to get rid of Southampton players or I need to get rid of Spurs players, because I have both of them, and I'll have to see how that works out. So yeah, Adam plus this is my team. So as a Liverpool, Chelsea is one of those teams I worry about. Yes, Chelsea on paper looks very good. I mean, the defensive reinforcement, the attacking reinforcement, they changed the team completely, to be honest. If you look at that team, they have changed the left back, they have changed the forward, they have changed the winger. So there's been a lot of changes. So that is one of the things that worries me, because it's not like they change one player at a time, because it's not like progressive. They change everything at once. So if that works out, it's good. I'm not saying that won't work out. If that works out, I think it's pretty good for Chelsea, but we'll have to see. Yep, we'll have to see. And I think there's new keeper, Mendy, for Chelsea. Is that official? I'm not pretty sure. I think he will be coming in for the... and Kepa needs competition too, I think, along with Van Dijk. Van Dijk also needs competition. So yeah, this is pretty much it for my team right now. Now I'll be coming out with my plans and all the player selection videos soon. So yeah, please like this video if you enjoyed the content, and please subscribe. No one has subscribed today. Come on, please subscribe, and yeah, please like the video if you like the content. And if there is anything more you'd want to talk about, please comment, or I think I'll be ending this video. There's not much I need to talk about. I think this was one of the things I had to talk. I only had 21 points after that first round of games until Everton and Spurs played. I only had 21 points, and Digne, Justin, and Calvert-Lewin and Vardy also, they changed everything in my team. So yeah, I think now I'll be ending the stream. This is pretty much it. There's not much I think I need to talk about. Now yeah, thank you for joining in, and thank you for supporting. Please subscribe and like the video. So I think I'll be ending it here. So yep, bye bye.